This is Shelby and Hifo from LIIFE, a program in the Long Island International Film Expo, and I am here today with Amie Sponza and Nick Jove. And so tell me a little bit about your films.
So the film is The Cartographer, and Nick is the writer. I'm the co-producer, and I'm also in it. And it's about a young man with bipolar disorder who paints a map of his father's fishing grounds as sort of a way to reconnect, because the parents are divorced. I play the therapist, and it was shot in Long Island at my family's marina and hotel in
Oh, nice. Okay, so then it was right from home then? It was New York based, very close to home, good.
Right.
And how did you feel the experience was writing this film?
It was good. They asked me to write it because they'd seen some things I'd written, and all of these themes, the theme, ultimately it's about a kid with bipolar disorder, but it's also a story about a young man and his father. So, I think we're often writing about things that come from our own lives, our own family of origin. So, it was an expression of, I think, some of the estrangement I felt from my own father. So, really looking at those themes, the distance that happens in family systems, particularly when there's a single mother and a father who's a little bit absent. So it just came really straight from my own heart. We had an issue, we wanted to work it around, but that's what it was about.
Yeah.
Okay, and I see, so I could tell where you guys have your inspiration from your film, but what inspired you guys to be involved in film in the first place?
Well, we're both involved with the Actors Green Room in New York, run by Jen Rudolph, and there's a large group of us, and a lot of us are in there to meet casting directors, but many of us said, well, gee, why not make our own work? We don't have to wait to be hired. We can create our own work and express ourselves and tell the stories that are important to us. And I think the director had a personal experience with a family that had a son who passed away due to bipolar disorder. And there's issues in many families, myself included, that have to do with mental illness, and I think it's an important story to tell, and I'm glad we were able to tell it in such a beautiful way. I feel that Amanda Brooke Lerner and Steve O'Brien, who played the mother and son, who also won awards for acting in this, for this festival, and they did such a beautiful job portraying just how affected a family can be by mental illness.
Yes, and I know mental illness, it's something that they're definitely talking about a lot in media right now. You have these TV shows like 13 Reasons Why, and other movies that are really promoting like how this is a very prevalent aspect of American society that hasn't really been talked about much in the past, and now is really coming to light. So your film really is coming out at a good period right now in cinema. So that's good. And so tell me a little bit more about what inspired you to write? Like what started your career in writing?
I started writing short films. I started writing like probably 7 or 8 years ago, and I didn't know what I was doing at the beginning. And so actually in talking about short films, I watched just tons of shorts. Because I wanted to sort of master that medium first. I wanted to master that medium and then, sort of mastering the longer form mediums now. But I remember I used to go to Tribeca Film Festival by myself and watch the shorts programs and just sit in the darkened theater like in April and just watch them and see what really works in shorts. So I really like it. It's like songwriting. Short writing is the hardest writing. Writing in for 3 minutes or for 11 minutes or 17 minutes.
You have to be concise.
It's an economy of ideas. So again, Amie and the director came to me because they'd seen something else I'd written, and they said, we want you to write this thing. We had a whole conversation about themes, but I write because I don't know what else to do. You write because you have a lot of feelings, and
because you have to.
Feeling feelings is uncomfortable. So writing is one way to stop feeling feelings.
Yeah, you write because you can. You can pull it out of your heartstrings. I get that.
Right.
Yes, it's very true. So what are some, as you were talking about themes before, what are some other themes you want to explore in the future in one of your films?
Well, I'm planning on doing another film in October, and that theme is community. So that's the next theme I'm going to tackle.
Okay, and what's this about?
Yet to be determined.
Okay, I see, I see. And what about you? What are your future projects?
I don't know. We had a project. I don't know if we're going to go back to it, but I had a project about a woman who got ghosted by a guy who she was in love with. So and she goes on a journey to sort of find herself. So modern love is a really big theme that I'd like to look at, because I've been on a lot of dates in my life, and we're going farther away from each other, although, I think people don't think that or know that. So that's a fascinating theme for me. I think that the theme of separation and the alienation of each other as we move more into living off of using our thumbs to communicate, it's a big thing. And also, just like the themes in this and my other film, there's the sort of the role of of humans in society as we like estrangement. There's this sort of estrangement that happens. So I think, connection, lack of connection is really a big one.
Well, as a millennial college student, we know a lot about ghosting. That does happen quite often in our sphere.
It's really sad. It's really sad, and because ultimately those people are hurt people. It's and it happens to people on both sides, but we have to look at why we're going after those people who ghost on us.
Yes, Yes, I mean, people in this generation, we are so used to clicking on our phones. We don't even talk to each other on cell phones anymore. People are surprised when you leave a voice message, so it's so easy to just connect with someone, then, I decide not to talk to them anymore, block them, delete them, and you see them in person and you just don't even have contact because you're so used to that contact on social media that you can get.
Very conflict averse. This is another family of origin thing. Most people are not taught any form of healthy conflict, so they're super conflict averse.
Yeah.
It's either conflict starts and it becomes something huge, or they just run away. So that has a lot to do with it. And the more we're down here, the less we're saying, actually, I don't feel that way, and trying to talk it out.
So do you think that these types of conflicts add to maybe the difficulties that people face in mental illness?
A lot of them are alienated because
It's leading to mental illness, for sure.
And many people who have mental illness are stigmatized, like they're shunned, people don't know how to deal with them, so they're pushed away. And I think it's important to draw them in, and we're all human. We all have these parts of us that aren't as pretty as some other parts, and I think it's important that we are all part of a community, which is why I think community will be a good topic, a good theme.
For sure.
Because community is so important to us as human beings. We need each other. No man is an island kind of thing.
And social media, I just want to say about social media, and the good thing about social media and the bad thing is that the bad thing is that it does create this distance. But the good thing, and the fact that people are becoming YouTube stars and then becoming stars, is that people are putting their truth out into the world in a really more visible way.
Right.
So a lot of people with issues with mental illness are saying, I have this is my thing.
Yeah.
And so I think that's sort of the nice side of what social media does. People are just like, this is who I am in a big way, which is cool.
Yes, well, very interesting. Thank you for being here with us today, you guys. Great time. And good luck with everything with your festival.
Thank you very much.